Chapter 7. Pete Harris said, "At least it's warm down here. I remember those Nebraska winters. They're killers. If it comes to begging again, better to be where you're warm, even if you're hungry." "Yes," I said. "I know you're right. Still. You want to get back to that truck driver, don't you? He's kind of a daddy to you and Joey. Ain't that so?" I knew it was so, but I didn't like to admit it. I just bit my lip and said nothing. "I'd like to help you, Josh, you know that, and after a few months I may be able to get a show of sorts on the road again. I'm not sure. Money's tight, but I think I'll be able to get something together. Right now, though, I'm about down to rock bottom, and I have to look out for Emily and the boys, you know. I wish I could help you till we're over the hump, because when I do get things moving again, I'd like to have you in a better spot. But for the next 6 months or so, well, I just don't have the means to carry you over that long." "I know you don't," I answered, "and I want you to know that I appreciate all you've done for me so far. As for Joey and me, you don't need to worry. We can get along. I've saved most of my money, and so has he. I've got $18 in my wallet." "Yeah? Well, that will take you pretty far if you're careful. You can hitchhike a lot, and you know how to live cheap. Maybe it's best to get back to that man in Nebraska. He liked you boys. I could see that. Whether he's able to help you or not is another matter. But to be near someone you like and trust, that's something to think about." He took out his wallet and removed $2. "I'll make that 18 and even 20, Josh. It's the best I can do." "No, don't thank me. You've earned it. You made a lot of people stand around and listen to that piano. It was good for business, good as anything is these days. Well," he held out his hand, "God bless you, kid. Take care of that little sport." We shook hands. I drew a long breath. I could accept Pete Harris now. I could accept many things. The different picture of Emily, the disheveled little dream that had taken such a beating, fine. I could accept everything. But I had to get away from them, so far away that I would never again hear Pete Harris call Emily Hun. I had to leave these soft skies that had given us so much comfort. Had to get away from these people, kind as they had been to Joey and me. I knew it was a foolish thing to do. I wouldn't have dared to explain it, but I had to leave. I went over to tell Emily goodbye that afternoon. She still looked white, and her voice didn't sound quite natural. The worry that gripped all of us had hit Emily hard, but there was no whining from her, no hysterics of the Florinda variety. She had a bag of molasses cookies packed for Joey and me, and one of the pecans which her little boys wanted us to have. She searched around in her stored bedding until she found a wool blanket, which she insisted that I take. When I was ready to go, she held out her hand to me, and as she had done that first night, gave the handshake added warmth by placing her left hand over mine. "I'll always remember you, Josh, and I'll always be wishing the best for you. Will you write to me?" "Yes," I answered, wondering what I would ever be able to say to her. She handed me a piece of paper. "Send any letter to Pete at this Baton Rouge address. He'll see that I get it." "Yes," I said again. I sounded like a stupid parrot, and I hated it. She didn't say anything more. We just stood there looking at one another. Then I said, "I'll always think well of you, Emily." She smiled just a little at that. "Thank you, Josh," she answered. Then I turned away. I didn't intend to look back, but I did. And when I waved, she lifted her hand in response. Then she turned and went inside her boxcar room. I found Joey, and we hunted a long time for Edward C. But we couldn't find a sign of him. Finally, we saw Bleegan running toward us. He handed me an envelope. "This is for you from Edward C.," he said in his high, childish voice. "He's such a fool, that Edward C. He's off to himself now, bawling because you're leaving." I said to him, "Good riddance. There's few enough jobs for us who have to wait around for that idiot Pete Harris to get things going again." That's what I said to him. He just kept right on bawling, though, and told me to find you and give you this. I'm not sure that I thanked Bleegan. I took the letter from him, and he was scampering away before I'd had a chance to tear open the envelope. Joey and I read the letter together. "Dear boys," Edward C. had written, "you perhaps will never know what your friendship, your kindness, and respect have meant to a lonely man such as I. I cannot bear to say goodbye, for I don't want you to see my tears. My love goes with you. Your friend, Edward C. Kensington." When Joey handed the letter back to me, I folded it and put it in one of the compartments in my wallet.